Show!
Welcome back, everyone. This is part 2 of the King's Castle. King James, along with Blair Chopin, and our guest, Peter Kohlberg.
Kohlberg.
And we are talking tonight about not only the draft, but also the Battleground pay-per-view that took place this past Sunday. Now, in short, all the championships remained intact. By that I mean Rusev is still U.S. champion, Miz is still Intercontinental champion, but I think maybe the most shocking of all was the triple threat match between the 3 former members of the Shield, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Now, I have to tell you, going into Battleground, I thought Raw had the advantage because both Rollins and Reigns are on Raw now because of the draft. But a part of me thought their egos were going to get in the way, and boy was I right. Because Rollins had the match won, but at the last second, Ambrose snuck in with the dirty deeds and was able to score a pin. So the WWE Championship stays on SmackDown. What do you guys think of that? You think this is gonna hurt Raw?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. I think Raw's gonna get another championship, big championship. I think they're gonna add another belt to the.
Well, you know, it's funny you should mention that, Pete, because we knew Stephanie and Mick Foley were gonna have to fight back going into Raw this past Monday. So they've actually come up with something called the WWE Universal Championship.
Which isn't the only championship coming to Raw, is it?
Well, no, they are going to establish a cruiserweight division, which we've mentioned before. But we're gonna get into that later. But the way they went about coming up with this new championship is they had 2 fatal 4-ways, and the winners of those matches would face each other in the main event of Raw, and the winner of the main event would face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. So it came down to Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor for the fatal 4-ways. Now, I don't know about you, but I was personally shocked that Finn Balor was, and I'll tell you why. Because I would think, if anything, they're trying to build up a rivalry between Reigns and Rollins, because obviously they're still at each other's throats. So I thought that they were going to use that as more of a rivalry to kind of build the brand. But were either of you guys surprised that they're trying to build Finn Balor up that quickly?
I can't speak for Pete, but I wasn't. I mean, the guy's got superstar written all over him.
Just from what I saw last night, I agree. I haven't seen much of him in NXT, but what I saw from him last night, he's going to be a contender this soon.
Well, there's got to be a part of you that's thinking, oh my gosh, Seth Rollins is Stephanie's golden boy, so this is a total mismatch. Obviously, Seth got Stephanie in his back pocket. Do you see her pulling a trump card here?
I don't.
Why is that?
I think, like you said, for the brand, it was good, but I think they should have kept that rivalry with Reigns and Rollins.
Well, as much as I'm not surprised about Finn Balor ascending this quickly, kind of, I mean, I think they could do something where they build him up, into being one of the top guys.
And this fast is.
Well, then what would you suggest, Blair, if you were from a management perspective?
Just, he's... I mean, he's...
Like, who would you put him in the ring against?
Probably a random fan.
Blair.
Some goober in the
Blair.
front row.
You can't be serious.
I'm totally serious. Beat up Carlos in the front row. Every week he wrestles a fan. And he's just a total bad guy.
That's how they storyline Santino Marella.
Exactly. Santino Marella.
Exactly. The Mulan Miracle.
Also, that was Ron Artesta's storyline. with the Pacers.
The whole once in a blue moon thing. But anyway,
It's a really old reference.
because to tell you the truth, I know Finn Balor has star potential, but if you ask me, it would make more sense from a booker's perspective to build the rivalry between Rollins and Reigns.
I agree.
And maybe put Finn Balor in a rivalry with someone like, say, Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn. Because those are people who are no strangers to each other, but they can also complement each other's strengths. Because we've seen what both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens can do in the ring.
Multiple times.
So either of those guys could be a good stepping stone for Finn Balor as a character, as far as I'm concerned. Don't you think?
I totally agree with what you just said, even though I wasn't listening to a word of it.
I do agree.
So Pete, I'm gonna pose the same question to you. What would you do to kind of build Finn's character if you weren't going to put him in the main event that quickly?
If I wasn't going to put him in the main event, thinking of Raw's draft picks that they had from last week, I would put him with somebody that's kind of well known, and build him up to that.
So somebody like, say, Jericho?
Like a Jericho, yeah.
Chris Jericho?
Right, somebody who is, like they did with AJ Styles when he came in.
Exactly.
Like
they want to use something where they pass the torch to him.
Exactly.
Right. That's a good idea.
Exactly, because
that's the first intelligent thing anyone said on the show.
Very funny, Mr. Chopin. But anyway, you're exactly right, because Blair, you and I talked about this. The series that AJ had with Chris Jericho for the first few months he was in became instant classics.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
So I think they can easily build Finn Balor up the same way.
But the thing about the Chris Jericho Styles match was those were handicap matches because it was Chris Jericho and his middle-aged guy against Dean Ambrose.
I know, that's kind of distracting.
Yeah.
What?
Chris Jericho and his middle-aged beer belly.
That makes no sense.
It's a handicap match. You just flinging that belly around and hitting him in the face.
Hey,
it's a good way to tag him in, though.
Just so you know, Blair.
I don't think you're supposed to kick someone if they're pregnant, but Ambrose was doing it.
Just so you know, Jericho may be a rock star, but not all rock stars drink beer.
Okay, well, we're talking about Jericho here with Styles. I've got a question for y'all.
Okay.
What did y'all think of the 2 draft picks with Cena and Styles going to SmackDown together? Is that going to continue their rivalry?
I think it is. In fact, I would love to see this build up to where they maybe face each other in a street fight one-on-one at SummerSlam or a cage. Because let's be honest, the rivalry is great between Cena and Styles, but both the matches, in one way or another, for Money in the Bank and Battleground, have been lopsided because, let's be honest, the club got involved in the first match, helped Styles win, and then the second go-around was a tag match, a 6-man tag. So it would make sense to put Styles and Cena one-on-one one more time, but have another gimmick in this match.
Ooh.
So maybe a cage, maybe a ladder, maybe a...
I think they should have Chris Jericho hanging from like where they usually had the belt in the ladder match, and just have his belly had the belt.
I was going to say, whoever hits his belly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
The beer belly match.
Or
presented by Heineken.
There you go. Or do what was it they had, the Asylum match?
The Asylum match, yeah.
They could do one of those matches.
Well,
or the first ever gay stuff match.
Family show, Blair, please. But, you know what? It makes sense because AJ...
It makes what?
It would make sense to have...
This one, it makes sense.
To have an Asylum match.
It would make sense to have an Asylum match.
Because AJ is no stranger to gimmicks. He can He's proven that he can handle pretty much anything during his 12-plus year stint with Impact Wrestling. So, he's no stranger to gimmicks, but it'll be interesting to see where that goes.
I agree with you.
But it's also interesting to me, how are Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan going to fight back as far as SummerSlam? What are they going to do to determine who faces Dean Ambrose?
Do
A
a
duel?
Do a World Heavyweight Championship tournament?
Presented by Snickers.
Well, Hannigan.
I don't know about that.
I like tournaments. I think that's a good idea by Pete.
Well,
he's bringing some much needed intelligence.
And do it and start it like tonight.
Tonight, exactly.
And do it until SummerSlam. I don't know how many weeks it is until SummerSlam.
With no break.
SummerSlam, by the way, is August 21st.
Presented by Snickers.
So,
Mountain Dew.
So we'll see where that goes.
Mountain Dew Kickstart.
But I personally love the Beat the Clock format. And for those of you that
That's a good one.
Beat the cock.
It's clock. They're not fighting roosters. They're trying to win their match in the shortest amount of time.
Yeah, the Roosters is just a Michael Vick thing.
So
It's dogs.
wait, that wasn't Michael Vick. That was DX.
Animal fighting. Is what I was
Anyway, we're gonna take a short break and come back with a little more analyzm right after this. So stay right there.
What the hell is analyzm? That is the dumbest word I've ever heard anyone try to use.
When you're the host of your own show, you can make up words, folks. Stay right there.
You're going to be charged with murder of the English language.
On the ID channel.
That sounds like a porn star name, analyzm.